Good evening here in the UAE. Good afternoon to those of you back in the Caribbean. This is our fourth official post-match press conference of the 2021 ICC Men's T20 World Cup. And we have the captain of the West Indies, Kieron Pollard, here to speak with you after today's loss to Sri Lanka. We're going to ask if you have questions, please indicate by raising your hand in the Zoom group chat. I will acknowledge you in chronological order. Today's engagement will be approximately 10 to 15 minutes maximum. So we may not get through all questions, but we're going to begin today's engagement with a question from Brandon Collett.
Hey, this Skip, a really heartbreaking result. Let's talk about the positives. Nicholas Puran innings and Shimron Hetmeyer. How important is that for West Indies cricket in the future?
I think that's sorry. Yeah, I think that's very important. Nicholas getting the opportunity to bat up the order. Last game, he was full of confidence, and we just decided to sort of ride on that confidence and just try something different. And I think he gave us a good start in the power play and after the power play, and obviously he wasn't able to carry on, but that is a positive sign, for us in the right direction. And then Hetmeyer, this is what we know Shimron, can do. He's one. He comes in, maneuvers the ball at the start, and he's a powerful individual. And if we can, get these sort of performances, from these guys consistently, I think it will augur well, for us in the future. But that's just a glimpse. Is the task is to be able to do that on a consistent basis. But the glimpse is good enough, and it's something that we definitely look at going forward.
My final question. Reflect on this defeat, where it all went wrong for the West Indies.
I think we were a bit sloppy in the field. I think it was a good batting track. If we had sort of restricted them to about 170, 175, I thought that was about par, on this track. Gave them a couple extra runs. And then we weren't able to sort of finish off, the innings. The batting, has struggled throughout the entire tournament, and it has been disappointed. Obviously, we have been singing, the same song, over and over, and it's something that, hasn't, helped us the way that we have batted, throughout the tournament. And we just have to accept, we weren't good enough, and we have not, been good enough.
Cheers, man.
Thanks, Brandon. We do have questions from the room.
Hello, Polly. This is Jamil Hassan from Mashhad TV, Pakistan. West Indies almost out of the semi-final. You guys are the defending champions as well. It's heartbreaking for you guys as well. What went wrong with West Indies? Despite your players are performing in IPL, so does in T10 League. So according to you, what went wrong? The injury of Fabian Alien, or do you guys really miss Sunil Narayan?
You said we almost out. I think it's heartbreaking. I think we out, the semi-final. There's no chance we can actually make it, going forward. It's something that we have to sit and, dissect. A lot of different things might have gone wrong, from, the start of the tournament, during the tournament. So we still have another game to play. Sometimes you don't want to sit and speak, on emotions as to, what just happened. Obviously, it was a heartbreaking, sort of defeat. Guys are disappointed. I am disappointed myself. So, for us, I think we'll have that time where we'll sit and dissect and decide, and come up with answers as to what went wrong. But in the moment, I think we are jotting down some points. Hopefully at the end of the campaign, when it's finally over, we'll be able to, sort of give some information on what we think or what we thought might have gone wrong. But having said that, as a team, we have been disappointed. We have been poor, and that's the reality, of the situation.
Probably 6 months ago, Sri Lanka were defeated by the West Indies in Caribbean. But now, considering this performance and throughout Sri Lanka's campaign, what have you seen the difference of Sri Lanka while playing today than in 6 months ago?
Well, again, it's a game of cricket. They were up for it today, and they were the better team, on the day. Again, there's a lot of things that have happened 6 months ago. So you can't look back at that and then judge what has happened 6 months ago on one cricket match. At the end of the day, we all came out to play a cricket match, and they were the better team today. They fielded well, they batted well, and they bowled well. So kudos to them. You have to give credit where credit is due, and I thought, they were better. They were the better team, than us today.
Akeem Green.
Hi, KP. looking back on reflection, given the conditions, given some of the lack of mobility, if you want to say, of some of the elder players in the team on the field, you still defend the stance of carrying some of these age legs to the World Cup?
Um, Trying to understand the question. The question there. As I said, I don't think this.
If we can clarify, there was a lot of talk prior to the World Cup over the age of a lot of persons in the team. Looking on a lot of the matches, a lot of balls could have turned into two. Some balls over his field. A lot of them didn't really put up big performances. Unless from your end, if you still believe you're defending that these guys should have gone to the World Cup.
Again, we can look at all sorts. We can look at age. We can look at mobility. We can look at everything, in a negative light or whatever. But my question would have been, what if it didn't happen? Obviously, we have to face the fact that we weren't good enough. So I'm not going to sit here and blame all those factors. As I said just now, we'll have our time where we'll sit back and have a post-mortem as to what actually went wrong. But some of these guys, in all honesty, have still performed around the world. And yes, as I said, we were disappointing. But when you look at it at certain times, when these guys are not playing for us, we ask the question as to why. We have an opportunity now, they're playing for us, okay, they didn't perform. Now, this is why we didn't perform. So, for us, you make a decision. When you make decisions, you have to stand by it and you have to stick by it, be it good or bad. All right? So, for us, we're not going to harp on that. We made a decision of how we wanted to play T20 cricket this year, what we wanted from the individuals, and it didn't work. These things happen. Sometimes it's better to try and fail than fail to try, right? So, for us, I keep saying we are disappointed. Guys have not performed. Guys have not done well. Guys have not done justice, to their talents, and we have not done justice as a West Indies team. So we take that on the chin, and again, we move on. We have life, and there's a lot of other different things we can think about, going forward.
Final question. You're a guy who loves to use the word being accountable. Has this taken any hit towards your personal ambitions as captain, or will we continue to see Kieron Pollard going forward as the leader of the West Indies white ball team?
Well, personally, I don't set personal goals for personal glory. I play cricket to win cricket matches each and every time, and we came to a World Cup to win, and we have not done that. Unless you're part of the decision that is going to get rid of me or fire me or retire me, as I stand right now, I have no intentions of not playing international cricket. One tournament or a couple bad games don't make a summer. And, for me personally, there's a lot of mileage in my legs as an individual. There are people in different scenarios who make decisions, and I can't, when it comes to that question, I can't make, that decision. But again, we have a tendency as things go badly, the easiest thing for us to do is, look for things to blame and chop and change and do different things. But we accept that. I accept that. I take it on the chin. Sometimes you have to absorb the pressure before you apply. But personally, as an individual, I've played a lot of good cricket, in the last 18 months to 2 years or so. So, 3 or 4 games, not going to deter Kieron Pollard. I'm sorry.
I was hoping to see more West Indies matches.
Sorry, Akeem, can you repeat that?
I just said thanks. Hope to see even more West Indies matches.
Thank you.
Thank you, Akeem. So we're going to jump to a question from Lennox Aldred, after which we'll move on to Shubham Madan, and then a couple questions from Leighton Levy. And we'll see where that leaves us and determine if we have to end the engagement at that point. Lennox, please proceed.
Greetings, Skipper.
Blessings all the time.
Man, all right, Skipper. I'm not going to be as diplomatic as my colleagues. I need to ask you a few questions, right? You mentioned about working on stuff, having conversations with the players and working out stuff. But based on what we have seen, Skip, what is really wrong with this team? You said that these guys can do what they know what to do, but what is really happening, Skip?
Again,
answer me honestly.
It hasn't happened. It has not happened, and you have to accept that. As I said before, this is we play sports, right? We train hard, we put in the work, we have conversations, all right? But you still have to go out and perform. and we have not been good enough. And it's as simple, as that. It's just like as we saying in the Caribbean, you can carry the horse to the river, but you can't force them to drink. So when guys are batting out there, or myself is batting out there, it's myself and my teammate against that white kookaburra, and we have not been able to come out of trouble, or we have not been smart enough in different scenarios, and that's what it is. We have to accept that. And how do we accept that? We take it, you analyze, and you move forward. You move forward with individuals, you move forward a different team, you move forward in different aspects. But again, once you play sport and you have intentions of playing sports, you're going to win, you're going to lose, and you just sometimes have to get better, or then sometimes you just admit you have not been good enough, and we have not hid from that fact.
Were we well prepared for this tournament in your estimation?
Yeah, all the guys who playing cricket. We had 3 series in the Caribbean. Guys went off, they played CPL. Guys went off and they played IPL. So guys were playing cricket. So that is not an excuse, and I'm definitely not going to use that, as an excuse, right? When the time for us to put on the maroon and we went on the cricket field, we weren't good enough, and it's as simple as that. We can look at all different things, and we can sit and we can discuss and we can say whatever, but we have not been good enough, and it's as simple as that. And yes, it's a World Cup. It's a big thing. We are all looking forward to it. We're all looking forward to doing well, as a team. Some guys on their last wanting to do well, wanting to win a 2 championship. But when you plan, there's always that higher being who has different plans.
All right, respect, skipper.
Blessings.
Shobham?
Yeah. Hi, Polly. I have 2 questions for you. Both are light questions. Actually, we might enjoying it. So my first question is that when you see all the countries come to this system of the T20 World Cup, their national anthem is played before their matches are being played. While West Indies, we see the cricket anthem, like Rally Round the West Indies. Does it motivate you for the entire Caribbean region that we have to perform not only for my particular nation, Trinidad, but for the entire West Indies, whilst hearing the Rally Round the West Indies, your cricket anthem?
Again, that's our anthem in the Caribbean, and I don't think an anthem make you perform. I think as a cricketer, once you decide to play cricket, we come from the Caribbean. Every time we step on that cricket field is to represent the people of the Caribbean and to represent our families and to represent ourselves. The pride and the passion and the joy that the guys and we have is paramount. And yes, I think performances might not show, but in terms of that passion, I will not say that listening to the anthem, I don't understand what you're asking, but I'm just saying that every time we step on the cricket field, it's to represent the people of the Caribbean, our families, and ourselves.
Yeah, I actually got it. My another question is being to you too is that when you entered the T20 field in 2010 Champions League, that time you were known as a Mr. T20 with your hairstyle. Now, after a decade, how the Kieron Pollard as a person has emerged, like now captaining the West Indies side?
Again, hairstyles, all these things come with age and maturity. For me, again, I've just evolved. I try to evolve as a cricketer each and every time. I try to, improve. Try to get better. You have good times, you have bad times. But what I can safely say is, once you play in T20 cricket, you're going to feel more than you're going to perform. But you have to make sure that when you're performing, you make it go for a long stretch. So that's what I've done. Sometimes the road is not always straight, it's not always smooth. Take the bumps, take the hills, and you come back strong. I've been given a talent, by the higher being, the Almighty, and I try to go out and execute it each and every time. Get an opportunity to lead, the people of the Caribbean, and again, just try to do it to the best, of my ability, and accept, whatever comes the way. When things are going good, we smile and we be happy. When things are going bad, you still have to be smile. You still have to smile and you still have to be happy because you still have an opportunity, tomorrow, to make a difference once you have life. So, for me personally, I think I'm just trying to do justice to what talent I've given. I might have failed, I might have succeeded at different things, but once I have that strength, I'm going to continue.
Yeah, thank you for the inspiration words, and I hope these words are inspired to so many youngsters like emerging to the cricket field. Thank you so much, Polly.
Thank you.
All right, so we are going to go to Leighton Levy and we are at closing time. However, there's only one request thereafter, and I don't want to be seen to be leaving anyone out. So after Leighton, we're going to jump out to Avanesh Ramzan and we're going to end tonight's engagement. So Leighton, please proceed.
All right, two quick questions, Sir Pollard. What was the plan bowling going in the match? And of course, why did it seem to go awry from the very beginning? That's the first question. Second question, a lot was made of the experience that this team was coming into the World Cup with. That experience has failed this team. Can you say why that was? So those are both my questions.
What was the first one?
What was the bowling plan going into the match? Since you won the toss and put Sri Lanka into bat, what was the plan bowling, and why did it seem to go awry from the very outset? We seem to have lost control of the match from early. But at the second over, we were at 14. They were 14 without loss, and it kept escalating from that point onwards. I'm trying to find out what is it that you think went wrong with whatever the plan was for the bowling. And the second question was the experience in this team seemed to have failed this team. For the entirety of the World Cup so far, because officially we're out. Why do you think that was?
From a bowling perspective, I'll start. Obviously, when you make a decision, you'll be criticized by it. You can look at all sort of different reasons as to why it went wrong, why it went right, or whatever. You made the point that the second over, they were 14 without loss. 7 runs are over with 2 guys out. Nothing is wrong with that. But then sometimes you must also give credit where credit is due. I thought the Sri Lankan batsmen, they were fantastic. They maneuvered the field, they hit the gaps, and they ran well between the wickets. You look at the stats, they had 17 fours and 3 sixes. With that being said, that was minimal risk, but still scoring runs. So I think the bowling plan was spot on. They were just better than us. Throughout the entire tournament, the bowlers has done a fantastic job, for us. Each and every time they step onto the cricket field, it was a better pitch tonight, and the batsmen made use of that. So, again, because they made 189, you can't just sit there and say that there was not a plan. But we sat down and we had discussions and we came up with different plans. And, yes, they scored 189. So, well played to the batters with minimal risk. They got maximum runs. So, that I can answer that question. And the second one, I think I've touched on that before, in terms of thought our experience would have taken us through, and it has not. And we have accepted that, and there's nothing we can actually do at this present time about it, because it's done and dusted. We have one more game to go in the World Cup, and we're going to come out, and we're going to still come out and play with a smile on our faces, and hopefully try to end this campaign with a win.
No, but with all due respect, Pollard, you haven't answered why. I mean, I'm asking you, why do you think it didn't work? Why do you think the experience? I mean, yourself, Chris Gayle, Dwayne Bravo, Andre Russell, you're talking about years of experience at playing cricket across the globe, winning 2 World Cups. Why didn't it happen this time? That's what I'm asking. Not that it didn't happen. I mean, these things happen in sport, but I'm trying to pinpoint why.
I don't have the answer for you right now. As I said, after the last game, which is in 2 days' time, we're going to sit and we're going to have a post-mortem, and I'll have a better answer for you. You don't want to sit here and talk on emotions and talk on different things. So I don't have a problem answering you, but as we sit here right now, I don't think I have all the answers that you are looking for tomorrow's headline. So I'll get it for you, and hopefully you can put it out, and we can end the campaign, with a win.
All right. Thank you very much. And of course, wishing you better luck against Australia.
Thank you very much, sir. All the best in the Caribbean. Continue to stay safe, each and every one.
Avanesh?
Thank you. Skip, tough luck today. Just one question from me quickly. As captain, what's your position on getting the next generation of West Indies T20 cricketers into the mix in the build-up to the next World Cup?
I love that question. I think it's something that we have to look at. I think it's something that has plagued us, over a period of time for the last, 10 years or so. We have had, again, sort of the same guys playing T20 and sort of dominating as we go along. One of the things that, for us that we need to do, especially in the Caribbean, is that we need to have other tournament other than CPL, whereas, we can unearth new talents. When we had the Caribbean T20, that was an opportunity, for people to bring new talents from different parts of the Caribbean, and we're able to have a sort of nucleus for this last generation or so. But with the inception, since CPL has come in, yes, it's a franchise-based system, but we have had only the opportunities to sort of recycle, the same players over and over and over again. So it's something that we need to look at, but there are some cricketers and a lot of young cricketers looking forward to playing and contributing to the factor of West Indies cricket, and it's something that, for me personally, I'm excited about. And yeah, it's an end of a generation, but there's a lot of conversations that needs to take place of how you're going to make the transformation from, say, club cricket or even, CPL into international cricket, because there's a big step up. So I think in between there, we need a sort of another tournament. If you look around, the world, there are different tournaments that different teams play so that they can earn the new talent. So, for us, I'm looking forward to it. I'm very, very excited. There's some young, exciting players, and, hopefully we can find the right mix of, these young guys coming up and making a step up and hopefully coming and contributing to the success, of West Indies cricket.
All right, I want to say thanks to the media for being present. It's very encouraging to see the amount of Caribbean journalists on today's press conference. So thanks for that. Skipper, thank you for making yourself available, and thank you for allowing me to hold you slightly longer than initially promised. Obviously, we look forward to a match in 2 days' time where we hopefully fare better and we can end the World Cup on a high. Also, thanks to the ICC media and PR team for hosting us and putting on these lovely press conferences. Enjoy the rest of your night, everyone.